Okay guys, welcome back again. You're here with the Dragon of Dragon Works. And back on the 2008 Harley Davidson NightRod. And this is kind of a two-part thing, a little update on this project. This is supposed to be a little simple project, in and out, a service and a couple accessories installed. Simple job. So there's some good and bad here. And I just want to say a little disclaimer that I'm not picking on this guy or any customer. I just kind of want to show you how things go and why it's hard to give estimates and why my schedule is the way it is. But also for those who are following along and interested in this thing, this is another part to it. Excuse me, damn allergies. But yesterday I had a little bit of time while I was waiting on something, and I thought I'd just go ahead and install the grips real quick. Real nice Harley grips. I wanted to point something out that's pretty neat. In the day, and a lot of them still are, you have to glue this side, your left side, onto the bar, and they would always slip and they never hold or what have you. So they finally got some sense to them. And you see this little flat part of the housing right here? I know the lighting's terrible, but there's a little flat spot right there. Now the grip comes with a flange on the end, and it has this little flat spot that fits in here. So you take the housing apart, spread it open, you put the grip in it, and then you can clamp it down. And the grip also has a taper here that fits real tight. So now these grips are super tight, and the whole control and the housing and everything holds the grip on. So I thought that was kind of neat. And like I say, that went really well. And that brings me, well, here, let me show you if anybody's interested. They are multi-fit, so it works with a lot of applications. If anybody's interested in it, there's your information and part number. Okay, genuine Harley grips. So that went well. And then that brings me to the first of our many problems. So this customer hands me this package sealed up, never been opened, and supposed to be a new, well, I don't know. I assumed it was supposed to be a new clutch lever from Harley or something, but this is what came in the package. And there's several problems. He's pretty particular about his bike, and this handle's all scratched up, needs to be resanded and buffed, but it's not the right lever anyway, because you can see the difference here. See, he dropped the bike, well, it fell over or what have you, and the ball broke off on the end. So he wanted to replace it. There we go. Now it's starting to focus, trying to. I love autofocus, don't you? So anyway, it's supposed to have that little pointy taper on the end, and it doesn't. See, the other side does. Sorry about the camera. Just, yeah, it doesn't do well with shiny and lighting and all that. They keep trying to refocus. But anyway, that doesn't fit. So that was problem number one. And I'll get to why this matters in a second. Problem number two, I guess, it really wasn't a second problem, but a major problem that I run into all the time is people use wrenches to put their oil filters on. And that is a no-no. It says specifically right on it that hand tighten only. And this one took a lot of work to get out. Sometimes I don't get so lucky and they just rip apart. And then you're down here on the end trying to use a chisel and chisel it out. And this one's in a really, really bad spot. So I'm glad I didn't have to go to that, but I used just about every oil filter wrench I had until I finally had to break out the ones with the vice grips and get on there. And just about the time it was tearing, it came off. But it's in a real bad spot. I don't really think I can show you guys well. And then we'll get to the final problem. Yeah, it's like way down in there. And this is the radiator in the front. And it's actually, you got to access it from the bottom. So yeah, it's really, really hard to get to. And if you have any trouble at all, it makes the job because you can barely get a turn on it. You only get like a 16th or a 30 seconds of a turn, of a full turn anyway. So there's no room for a wrench or anything. Makes it real difficult. So the filter was way over tightened. Somebody definitely used a wrench. That wasn't hand tightened, I can tell you that, because my hands and arms are extremely strong. Working construction and mechanics all my life, I can twist things off of my hands that most men can't, and that's just a fact. But so that was a big issue. I run across it all the time, and you know, I'm not picking on this guy or any one customer or anything like that. This is just to show you kind of what happens. I get people all the time, hey, can you give me an estimate? And I give them an estimate. They're like, oh, can't you do it cheaper? This is why you can't. You can't. It's hard to give estimates, and it's hard to do stuff cheaper, because then when I say yes, this is what I run into. It's stuff like this, but it's not over here. And once again, just let me say one more time, I'm not picking on this customer whatsoever or any one customer. I'm just explaining how things go. And for those who are following along, I'm kind of showing what's going on with this 2008 NightRod. So it brings me to the next problem, which was the drain plug. So the drain plug didn't want to come out. I had to use all my might once again to turn this thing out. And once you break it loose, then you just kind of turn it out with your fingers, but this one wouldn't. I had to use the wrench to get it all the way out. And when I got it out, this is going to be hard for you guys to see with the camera, but that stuff you see like right here and on the tip is Teflon tape. Okay, like you use in plumbing with water. It doesn't hold up good to oil or gas. And it works good with air and water, but that's pretty much about it. But what happens is a lot of people, and I'm just, you know, I'm going to assume here and make an ass out of you and me, but I assume that somebody wrapped the Teflon the wrong way, because there is a certain way you have to wrap Teflon on threads. And if you don't wrap it the proper way, as soon as you go to tighten it, it just peels off. And in this case, it has nowhere to go but up in the hole to the engine, and that's pretty much what this did. So there's a lot of Teflon missing. I don't know where it's at. Maybe they only, well, it doesn't matter. If they wrapped it all the way around one time, there's a lot missing. We got a little string of it here, and there's a little bit on the magnet. And you can also see on the magnet, it looks like a little cactus. It's got all kinds of little metal pieces now down in there. You gotta look really close. You can see them, looks like little spines. I hope that's not because that Teflon's up in that motor blocking some oil passages. I'm not sure, but they lost the crush washer that goes to this somewhere along the line, and what they did was they over tightened it trying to get it to stop leaking. They put Teflon tape on it trying to get it stop leaking. Now I usually keep these in stock. I even got variety packs like this I was just looking through, but it just so happens the V-Rod, which is, you know, an unusual bike, the plug itself is larger than most, so I don't actually have one to go on it. So now I'm going to have to try to find one. You can usually reuse the washer several times before you have to replace it. You know, I guess if you were a Harley dealer recommends, to replace it every time. That way they can charge you $30 for it or whatever they charge for it. But you can usually use it a couple times. But this one's totally missing, so now I'm going to have to go get one, find one, try to find one. There's no dealer near me. I can probably go to an automotive store actually and get a good drain plug crush washer for this once I get the right size. But, you know, it just brings me back to how it throws my schedule off, because this job was just supposed to be in and out real quick, in between jobs. The guy's been waiting for a while to get in and just wanted it done. And now this couple hour situation's turned into, oh, sorry about that light back there, but a couple hour jobs now turned into a day's situation here, and I'm still not done. I got to get the drain plug before I can put the oil back in and get it started up for you. So anyway, yeah, it's like a, excuse me, and the furnace kicked on. That's weird. It doesn't feel that cold in here. So anyway, once again, guys, sorry about that. Hope you don't get motion sickness. But yeah, that just kind of goes to show you what goes on. And if you're, wondering about the schedule, this is a minor thing. This only sets me back about a half a day, but I get some that set me back days and weeks. Routine maintenance turns into an engine job or something crazy. But anyway, that's going to be about enough of this from the Dragon. And peace out.